Demtrius Andrade, everybody's favorite inactive fighter in America, says he wants to move to 160 pounds and challenge David Lemieux. I don't understand why, and I'm going to get into the history of Demtrius Andrade. We're playing around going to 160 and in a junior middleweight career that has fell short as anything imaginable possible with his career. This your boy CJ Goodfellas, enter that real boxing clinic talk, you dig? And I remember, I always tell this story. I remember when Demtrius Andrade was offered a shot at the WBO vacant middleweight championship versus Matt Korobov, when Peter Quillen dropped his belt not to face Matt Korobov for whatever dumb reason that was. And eventually Andy Lee stepped in and got that title, and then lost it to Billy Joe Saunders. That's how he got it. But you know, he's talking about the money wasn't right for, you know, it wasn't enough for him to stop up to Matt Korobov. And he's always using the fucking money as an excuse. Like, you had never made $500K in your career and you pulled out of the Jamel Charlo fight, you know? And what's funny about it, if you look at it with Demtrius Andrade, look whose press conference out of the Charlo twins he's pulling up on. Pull up on Jamel Charlo after he says this is his last fight at 154 pounds versus J-Rod. You know, he pulled up on Jamel Charlo after he fought at his 160-pound debut with Sebastian Healing. Is he putting up on Jamel Charlo fights? Because Jamel Charlo is the one that's still at 154 pounds. And that's how I'm telling you, this guy don't want no smoke with nobody. He's a fucking pansy. Real talk though. You know, I like it if he would fight David Lemieux. David Lemieux was saying he was waiting for Cotto, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So I like the fight, you know, for him fighting David Lemieux. I think it's a good fight for both guys. But I'm just trying to show you the bitch assness that Andrade got. He's always talking about the money, the money, the money. But you turn around and fight Willie Nelson for probably peanuts. You didn't make shit fighting Willie Nelson. So you got to give to get something. You know, you got to give and sacrifice to make the big dollars. He's not willing to make that sacrifice. He on that same Triple G shit. You know, they think they the A side for what? Because you was you was Olympian or you was a good amateur. That shit don't mean nothing now. Guys that you beat, you know, or competed with, Sean Porter, you know, Keith Thurman, Timothy Bradley already retired. You know, he wasn't with Tim Bradley, I apologize. He went with that amateur class. But, you know, all these other guys that, you know, like Sean Porter became world champion, you know, could possibly become world champion again real soon. You know, Keith Thurman is the guy at welterweight. You beat him. And Lara, you know, you lost to him in the amateurs, what I understand, the Pan Am games. He's already fought Canelo and got a major payday as well. And the Charlos, you know, skipped the Olympics. And now they're almost becoming a household name in the sport of boxing. What are you doing, Demtrius Andrade? Absolutely nothing. You move slower than shit on Friday night fights. And then you blame everybody else, and Lara said he priced himself out. And I believe Demtrius Andrade priced himself out. Because he always make an excuse about money. But to get in this David Lemieux talk, it's a good fight, but I don't think it's a fight that he's going to take. You know, he's going to talk, oh, they didn't offer me enough money. Oh, so I'm going to go fight this bum. You know what I mean? Like I said, he already pulled out of the 160-pound fight for a title. So why is he targeting David Lemieux who doesn't have a title? You know, why? You know, why? What is his ambitions to beat David Lemieux? Especially if he doesn't go down in Canada. If he go down in Canada, it's probably a good draw. He can open up a new fan base and make some money in Canada. They're going to show out in the Bell Center for David Lemieux or anywhere in Canada for David Lemieux. So I understand the strategic part. Maybe it's something to do with the rankings. Maybe you want to get a high, you know, a high ranking, a high name off of David Lemieux. David Lemieux was a one-dimensional fighter. And all he can do is punch. He has no boxing skills whatsoever. So Andrade probably feels like he can outbox him. But if he fight the way he fought Jack Colclough, Lemieux can possibly knock him the fuck out, and I'll be happy. I'll celebrate that, you know. But you know, he's very skilled. But like I said, you know, inactivity, you know, can be a fighter's biggest downfall, and that's his downfall. He's always talking about it's not enough money, it's not enough money. So what do you think Golden Boy is gonna offer you to fight David Lemieux when you don't have any name? You know, they're not gonna give you top dollar to go in there and fight, you know, one of their aces in the hole. One of the last names they have in boxing, so they could potentially lose, you know, Canelo's name to Triple G, and then you think they're going to turn around and you finish, you know, the leftovers of David Lemieux, and they lose two aces in the hole? Absolutely not. For you to take this fight, Andrade, you're gonna have to get a pretty much a mid-level or a fucking deal. And, you know, I don't understand it's not for a title. You know, I don't understand why, you know, he want to try to, you know, put himself in position to, you know, fight for the WBO title and get in those rankings and potentially face the Willie Monroe and Billy Joe Saunders, you know, winner down the road. But it is whatever, dog. Now, all of a sudden, he wants to fight David Lemieux. He wants to step up. He says the Eric Snoddy Lara fight is getting stale. I believe Lara when he priced himself out. He says all this shit getting stale. You're getting stale. You know, while these guys, you know, are typically hasn't have a name or fighting or have been on the big stage, you haven't. And by the time he gets on the big stage, he's going to fail or he's going to be too damn old and fail regardless. So it is what it is, man. We gone.